If you run a residential remodeling business and your sales process only works when you personally remember every conversation, follow-up, quote, customer inquiry, or every next move, you do not really have a sales process yet. You have you. And that might work when the business is small, but once you have a real lead flow, let's say 20 plus estimates going out a month, crews to manage, and real money moving through the business, that becomes expensive fast, as you probably already know if you're watching this video. And I want to show you the actual business problem, why residential remodelers lose money when the owner is still the safety net for the entire sales process. And see, what I've figured out, and you probably understand this too, is the leak doesn't usually look dramatic. It just looks like normal busyness. For a lot of remodelers, your week might look something like this. Tell me if this is familiar. A homeowner reaches out about a remodeling project, but you're out on a job site and you mean to call them back, but something urgent happens with a crew member, a subcontractor. Maybe something goes wrong with a material delivery, or the homeowner whose project you're already managing, something goes wrong. And you do get some people booked, you send out quotes, you close jobs. From the outside, the business looks active and busy, but underneath that busyness and activity, there are all these little open loops. Someone never got a fast enough response. Someone got the estimate, but never made a decision. Maybe a homeowner would have referred you, but nobody ever turned that happy homeowner and customer into momentum. Maybe somebody from 3 months ago was probably still warm, but they disappeared into old text, emails, or worst case, memory. And if you're watching this video as a residential remodeler doing, let's say 20 grand plus months, I know you know exactly what I'm talking about here. None of these moments feel huge by themselves, but stack them up together, and that's probably where you're leaking a lot of revenue. And see, most owners explain this wrong at first. They'll say, I need more leads, need a better CRM, need to hire an admin, or hey, most of the homeowners I'm getting, they're just price shopping me. And any one of these might be partially true. More leads can help, software can help, admin support can really help, and some homeowners just really are not a right fit. But none of those fixes solve the deeper issue if the business still depends on the owner catching every important sales moment manually. See, more leads just creates more chances to drop the ball. A CRM just gives you another place to forget things. An admin can help, but if the process is unclear, there's just two people now sharing the same confusion. And blaming homeowners does not tell you whether the real issue in that sale was the speed, the trust, timing, price, poor follow-up, or just simply no clear next step. See, the dangerous part is not that things are imperfect. The dangerous part is that you cannot see the leak clearly enough to control it. And if you're running a serious remodeling business pushing 20 grand months right now, you cannot expect to scale to 50 grand or 100 grand a month by just depending on anyone's memory as a sales process. See, a real sales process should give you, the owner, 4 things. First, control. You should not feel like leads, quotes, and follow-ups are just floating around the business with no clear owner. Second, consistency. The important sales moments should not just happen only when you have a calm day. They need to happen even when the week is messy and busy. Third, visibility. You should be able to tell whether your business is actually converting demand into profitable work instead of just guessing based on how busy everything feels. And that's the value behind a real sales process. It's not because it removes the owner from the relationship, not because it magically closes every job, or because it replaces good sales judgment. It's because it stops the repetitive sales pressure from living completely inside the owner's head. See, the goal isn't to automate the relationship. We don't want to do that. The goal is to protect the revenue around that client relationship. And see, this is why being booked out can be really misleading. I see this with a lot of remodelers. They can look busy and still have a sales problem. You can have jobs on the calendar, but still be underpriced. You can have leads coming in and still be losing even better ones. And you can still be sending plenty of estimates and still not have any control over what happens after they go out. You can have happy customers and still not turn enough of that trust into reviews, referrals, and future work. See, busy does not automatically mean profitable. It just means activity is happening. And if the sales process underneath that activity is weak or not even existent, then adding more activity is just going to make that leak bigger. I always like to say, more traffic makes a good system better, but more traffic can also make a weak system more expensive. And that's why buying software does not automatically fix your problem. And don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-CRM. You definitely need one. Jobber, House Call Pro, Go High Level, these can be extremely useful. But a CRM by itself is not a sales process and definitely not an automated one. See, a CRM can store your customers, your notes, show your records, and give your business a place to put your information. But if the real process still depends on somebody remembering what to do, when to do it, who needs attention, or who went quiet, then the CRM has not solved the owner dependency problem. It's just organized that dependency. And let's keep the math super simple here. If you sell higher ticket remodeling projects and you're doing anywhere from a 5 to 10 grand average ticket, you don't need to lose 50 jobs for this to matter. One missed good fit project could mean thousands of dollars. One quote that goes cold because the decision never got handled could be thousands of dollars. One past customer who would have bought again or referred somebody else like a neighbor could have been thousands of dollars. That one mistake is thinking that these are small admin issues. They're not just admin issues, they're revenue control issues. And once you're already generating real demand, recovering even a small percentage of the money you're already creating can matter more than buying the next batch of cold attention. So the bottom line here is sometimes the fastest money is not in more leads. It's no longer wasting the opportunities you've already earned. And let me be clear, I'm not saying you should disappear from the sales process. Especially with remodeling projects, trust matters. The homeowner needs to know, like, and trust you before they're ever going to choose you and your crew. And that's not going to get easier if we take you, the owner, out of the sales process. So the question I ask remodelers is not, do you have leads or do you have a CRM or an admin? The better question I ask residential remodelers is, when a full day of work pulls you away from your phone, does your sales process and the business keep moving? Or does it quietly wait on you or someone else to remember it later and pick it up? See, that's the owner-operator sales trap. And for remodelers pushing 20 to 50 grand in projects a month already, fixing that sales process is usually a lot bigger than increasing your ad spend or trying to get better at follow-ups. It's about taking revenue out of memory and putting it into a business process that you can depend on to convert it. And if you're a home remodeler that's already getting a bunch of leads and sending a ton of estimates every month, but too much of your sales process still depends on you remembering the next move, feel free to DM me or comment on this video so we can see where your revenue might be slipping away. I hope you enjoyed this video, got some value from it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.